Hello and good morning. Today you're going to learn a ton of spreadsheet skills, which means the spreadsheet is going to do a lot of work for you. Please start by putting your name up here instead of the word copy. And please do this along with a partner, sharing your video so that you and your partner can do this together and keep up. Okay, here's the first skill. These are called columns, and you're going to click on column A, and we want to hide it. So we come to this drop-down menu, and we hide this column right here. Another skill you're going to learn is how to expand this column and make it a little bit wider, right? Because it was too narrow. So I move my cursor between the C and the D, and my cursor changes. Did you see that? My cursor changes. And then I can make that column just the right width. Do you remember how to hide this column since we don't have temperature data? You can hide column F. That's right, you come down here and you hide the column. Now we have location, water volume, and the amount of time. Our goal is to get the spreadsheet to do the calculation or the average for us. Thanks, spreadsheet. Let's see how we do that. First, though, we have to clean up our data. The spreadsheet can't do a calculation if there's words in these boxes. So I'm going to go through all these boxes and I'm going to take out any where there's letters because it only deals with numbers. So you're going to pause the video in 3, 2, 1. All right, now it's time to unpause. I want to make sure you got rid of the ML in these boxes as well. These boxes are called, these boxes are called cells. So all these cells have to have just numbers, and now we know there's no letters in any of these boxes. So check this out. We need to find the best water bottle filler for locations. So here's the shortcut for putting these in the right order. We come to column C. We use this drop down again where all the good stuff is hidden, and we sort the whole sheet from A to Z. Shazam, now they're all sorted out. Isn't that great? I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight every other one so we can tell them apart more easily. I'll make that one cafeteria green, and I'll make elementary court. I don't have to come up here every time. I can just go to edit and redo. Command Y is your new best friend. So Command Y, gym lobby, Command Y, hub outside, Command Y, secondary, Command Y, and track right, Command Y. All right, our goal is to take the volume of water and divide by the amount of time. That's what we're going to call the flow rate. To do that, the spreadsheet is going to do the division for us. Here's how we do it. We type, let me make this real large so you can see it. We type equal sign, and then we don't type 200 or any of that. We just click on the 200. How simple is that? And then we put slash because slash means divide. My slash is on the same button as the question mark. And then we don't type the number 6, we just click on the number 6. And then this is our equation. Whatever's in box D2 divided by whatever's in box E2. And then I hit return. There we go. The flow rate is 33.333 milliliters per second. And sometimes a spreadsheet suggests things that are helpful. In this case, I don't want to redo that formula 50 more times, and this suggestion is correct. It's going to do the formula for all the rest of the 61 pieces of data. Okay, now we've got to keep our data nice and neat. I'm going to click on column G, and I'm going to clean it up by decreasing the decimal. That's this button right here. And I'm going to decrease it until there's only 1 decimal point. Now I'm going to go through and look for what are called outliers. I'm looking for outliers. That means a piece of data that just does not seem to be correct. Now, I purposely put an outlier in secondary to make my point. No one measured 1,000,000 milliliters of water for 10,000 seconds. So that flow rate of 100 is an outlier. So I'm gonna put the word outlier over here. I'm gonna copy that, come down here, I'm gonna put outlier there, and that's why I'm deleting that piece of data. And I left the word outlier there, okay? So back to the top, let's look for outliers. Cafeteria, these are all fairly close. I don't see an outlier there. ECC, these are all between 20 and 25, no outliers. These values are all very close. They're all 12 point something. Okay, so moving on to elementary. These are all pretty good in the 20s. Maybe this one is much lower than the average, but it's not really an outlier. An outlier for us would be something like this 31 right here. This 31, we're gonna call that an outlier because it's way lower than the next number of 37, and the rest of these are in the 40s. This is your judgment, remember. So an outlier is you having to make a judgment about this data. What's valid and what's an outlier? In here, something must have gone wrong because 4 doesn't belong in our calculation. So that is an outlier, and we're deleting that. Hub outside, you'll have to go through this data and find for yourself, are there any more outliers in here? So once you found all your outliers, our next job is to find the average. So just to be clear, I want to take these 5 values, I'll make them real big so you can see them, and bold. I want to take the total divided by the amount of what? The amount of times it was tested, which was 5. It was tested 5 times. So I could do equal sign and then parentheses and this plus this plus this plus this plus this, and then close parentheses. I could add all those up and then divide by 5 and get 34.3666, okay? I'm gonna ignore that. That takes a lot of work. That's a really good shortcut, but there's an even better shortcut, okay? So the next set of data, I'm gonna show you the real shortcut. I'm gonna make this blue to make sure it stand out a little bit more. And so I'm gonna take this data here, and in this box, I'm gonna type equal sign. I'm gonna write the word average, and see it suggest all these different formulas. I'm gonna click on average, and it's gonna give me an open parenthesis. In that parenthesis, I'm gonna click, hold, and swipe down. So it's saying, take every number from box G7 to box G10 and find the average. You just have to put a closed parentheses and press enter. So that's the shortest way of finding the average. I don't have a better shortcut than that. You have to take these boxes, come over here to the last one, equal sign, average. It opens a parenthesis for you. I select all of these, being careful what I select, close parenthesis, and return. So you can see that the spreadsheet can do a lot of math for you very quickly. Here we have a different amount. So one last time, equal sign, AVER, average, open parenthesis, highlight, be very careful just to highlight the right data, close parenthesis, enter. You'll do that about 5 more times to get the average for all the locations. I'll do the last one for you to make sure your amount matches. So equal sign, average, select all the right data, don't select the wrong data, close parenthesis, and return. So now that you've done that, you can make the averages stand out and you can submit a link to this slide with all your averages. Thanks for watching.